So I'm just coming on here to have a little chat. Mental health. So in a way, this is about my mental health, but it's also about your mental health. So I'm coming on here to see how you guys are doing. So in fact, you can call this a checkup because I'm checking in on myself and I'm also checking in on whoever is watching this video, this live. What's going on, Epi Paintbrush? How you doing? So I'm going to pose the question. How is your mental health? Now, for me, honestly, I can say I'm still working on it. There are things that I struggle on daily. There are things that I still just try to figure out each day because I realize each day brings new trials, new tribulations. I'm sorry to hear that, Paintbrush. Like I was saying, we all have some things that we all deal with. I hope whatever you're dealing with, I hope you have someone to speak to because I feel like it's very important to be able to speak to someone, you know, because you quite often we may find ourselves alone or we feel like we don't have anyone to talk to about things that are swirling around in our heads because we may feel no one else may understand or we may feel someone else may judge us based on the things that we have in our minds. Because trust me, mental health can be a very dark place. It can be a very dark environment that we find ourselves in. And sometimes we just don't feel like no one will understand us. Even though they may be willing to listen, sometimes we just may feel like, you know what, I'm just going to keep this to myself. Because I'm gonna admit something. There's been times when I have been in a very big slump mentally. And what's up, Jeep? Jeep's on gaming. How you doing? There's been times I've been like in a really bad slump, and times when I would just find myself in a dark room, just wondering, like, man, I need to talk to somebody about all the crap that's in my head, you know? And seriously, it can be a lot. And we need to ask ourselves, are we prepared to speak to someone? Are we prepared to talk to someone about what truly goes on in our heads? Because there's a lot of stuff in our heads that may scare other people. Let me ask you guys this question. What's up, Kareem? Have you guys ever spoken to someone and really just spoken to someone and really just shared something and you would just like fear that they would judge you for whatever you said? Let me see. I'm too scared to talk because if I did, my brother would probably get taken away and I would probably too. I hope that does not happen, Eggy Paintbrush. I really do. I really hope things get better. Whatever is truly happening in your life, I hope things do get better and I hope you're able to hear someone that can actually give you advice whenever you do feel comfortable about it. Because we all have moments in our lives where things affect us in a negative way, and we just need to understand that there are people willing to listen. There are people that are willing to listen, but we just have to understand that we can be able to share this information with them if we truly feel ready to do that. And it's only up to you because you may not truly feel ready to share that important information. So you have to be ready, first of all, first and foremost, before you even think about sharing this information with anyone. All right, let's get back to it. Mental health. Why am I talking about this? Why am I bringing this up? I'm bringing this up because I see a lot of people. I see a lot of friends. I see a lot of family members. I see a lot of strangers that go through mental issues. And I see them falling apart little by little. And the things that I see is, a lot of people, they don't want to talk to you anymore. It gets to a point where people kind of, their presence around you gets diminished, and they don't talk to you the same way anymore like they used to. And I know what you guys are thinking. Maybe it could be based on what I said in the past or other issues that have come up. But in my mind, I feel like there are certain things that people should be able to speak to you about, but it all depends on the comfortability as well. I feel if you're not mentally stable these days, I feel like it can really expand into other areas of your life in a detrimental way for other people. For example, if you're having a lot of mental issues and you get behind the wheel of a car, this can be very detrimental, as you guys have seen on the news. People have gotten behind wheels of cars when they're extremely angry, when they feel like there's no hope, when they feel like, what's the use? I'm just going to get behind this wheel. I'm just going to push the gas. This is a very bad choice to make, because I feel like when you get behind the wheel of a car, you're in charge of a very destructive device, of a 5,000-pound vehicle that can destroy someone. You know what I mean? So whenever you get behind the wheel of a vehicle, your mind should be stable enough to drive that vehicle and make proper decisions. Have you guys ever been in a situation when you're driving and I'm talking about you're angry? You're not angry at whatever's happening on the road. You're angry at something else that happened in your life, right? And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, somebody decides, I'm going to cut you off. No signal. I'm just going to cut you off. And this person that cuts you off, you just lose it in that quick moment. You just get to a point where it's like, I can't, this person just cut me off. And you just start to just lose it. You lose your temper instantly. And now the bad decision that you make is, I'm going to push on this gas now. Now I got to cut this person back off to teach him a lesson. I'm not going to act like I'm guilty of this, or innocent, I should say, of this, because I've done this before. I'm petty. There's been times on the road where I'm petty and somebody cuts me off on the road. And I'm like, all right, it's like that. And I gotta get my get back. I'm like, it's foolishness. We shouldn't be behaving that way, because one bad decision that we do, one bad decision that we make on this road. Thank you guys. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Renasha, how you doing? One bad decision that we make on these roads can lead to a lifetime of pain. We don't know what decisions that we make and who it will affect in the future. So that one moment when we say, you know what, I'm gonna pass this person on the road, I don't even care. I'm gonna get my get back. So you decide, I'm gonna speed past this random stranger that doesn't know me from the back of his own hand, just to get in front of him for a few seconds. You see, you're gonna see a lot of people on the road that will speed by you. You don't know what kind of mental issues they have. You have no idea. So when that person may be speeding by you, they could be thinking, I don't even care no more. I'm just gonna press this gas and make this car go as fast as it could. But in your mind, you're like, this person is a jackass. Why are they speeding like that? You see what I mean? Like, we all have mental issues in our heads. We all have things we're going through. But we got to be more empathetic to other people. Because one thing I realize is I'm a person that is going to make a lot of mistakes. and I made a whole lot of mistakes. And what's going on, Jackalope? Hope you guys are doing well tonight. I've made a whole lot of mistakes. And the thing about life is you got to be reflective on the mistakes you make. A lot of people, I feel, don't have mirrors in their homes. And the same people that I'm referring to that don't have mirrors in their homes, I call them vampires. They're scared to look at their own reflection. So when they actually look at an object that they're actually supposed to see themselves in, all they see is the reflection of others. So when you bring up some kind of feedback about someone else and you say, listen, this is what I see of you. This is what you should fix. It's affecting me. Some people won't even see it because they're not accountable for anything in their life. And that's the unfortunate thing. We have people out here that are not accountable for things that they do, but all they see is the fault that you may bring to their lives. But we can't help that. All we can do is look at ourselves. This is for the accountable people I'm speaking about. The people who want to hold themselves accountable. When you look yourself in the mirror and you see your reflection and you see the things that I need to work on or you need to work on. You're not a vampire, Eggy Paintbrush. But when you see the things that you need to work on, that's the first step in holding yourself accountable. It's the first step. Holding yourself accountable is not a bad thing. It's actually a great step to take in order to make changes in your life. And I've met a lot of people. I still know some people in my life right now that can't see their own reflection. You could bring up something that they just did seconds ago. You'd be like, oh, you just stepped on my shoe. No, I didn't. Yo, you just stepped on my shoe like literally like 3 seconds ago. No, I didn't. Do you guys know people like that? That you just bring something up on people and they don't even take any accountability. It's always it's gonna be hard, Eggy Paintbrush. Sometimes it's hard to like work on the things you need to work on because there could be some kind of issue where we feel like we can't really step to our issues at the point, but just understand that there are issues. As long as you're acknowledging things that you need to work on, that is a good step. Take your time and take small, steady steps toward working it out. Trust me on that. But I know a lot of people that, they don't take any accountability. You could literally, like I said, they could step on your shoes 3 seconds earlier. And then you look them in their eye and be like, you just stepped on my shoe. No, I didn't. And you're just like, what? What are you talking about? No, I didn't step on your shoe. You'd be like, bro, there's a stain on my shoe. I got on Air Forces. There is a black stain on my shoes. No, I didn't. That stain just appeared there. And you're just looking at them like, all right. And that's when you got to walk away from people like that. Like there's people that literally will gaslight you like nothing happened at all. At all. So, guys, mental health is very important. Let's focus on the things we can control. There are a lot of things that we are not able to control, especially, I'm going to say this, especially on social media. Social media, I feel, has caused a lot of mental issues for a lot of us. There's a lot of illusions on social media where we feel like we have to obtain in order to feel like we're successful or to feel like we're somebody. Seriously, we need to understand that social media is just an outlet for people. Whether it's the truth whether it's lies, it's just an outlet. And we need to understand what's our outlet that's going to help us in general, what's going to help us be greater than what we are today. So I want to thank all you guys for just getting on this live, listening to me, whether you felt like I was yapping too much, whatever. Thanks for coming on. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, guys. I will catch you on the next video. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your mental health. Peace.